hard as they can and hope to get the Wahine in passing trouble. Secondly, because of their possible lack of condition and stamina, I think they've got to pray for some short rallies out there. They've already shortened the game to a 2 out of 3 instead of 3 out of 5. I think short rallies would help too. And for the UH Wahine, or we'll call them the UH Varsity, number one, they've got to establish ball control. Charlie Wade and Howard Wallace, the two assistant coaches, have been banging a lot of balls the last couple of weeks, trying to get a lot of repetitions in so that this team has great ball control. We'll see if they have it tonight. And secondly, they've obviously got to respect their elders and the wisdom and the funny shots that might come out of the hip pockets of these UH alumni. A lot of experience out there.
Yeah, don't kid yourself. Some of these alums are in great shape. A lot of them play beach volleyball. Key Williams looking to go play in Europe. She's in decent shape. I don't think if it's a 2 out of 3 match, girls like Karrie Trieschman-Poppinga are going to have too much trouble, Chris. But you bring up a real good point. How many times have we said passing and ball control for Hawaii? In the years past, it's been their nemesis. They've had great digging teams in the late 80s. They've had a lot of big blocking, hard kill teams with Key Williams and JOSELYN in the 90s, but passing has just been their bane. They've just had a real problem with ball control.
Well, passing is a much under-respected, underrated skill of the game. Very non-glorious, not practiced that much in a serious vein by a lot of players, and so therefore in tough game situations, a lot of people break down in that area. So Dave Shoji's teams normally have been good passing teams. I think the last few years, I think the serving's gotten a lot tougher by the opponents.
All right, we'll be back with the starters and the rest of the lineups for both squads when we return.
Dear car owners, if you had a brake problem tomorrow, could you think of one brake specialist to go to? Where can you go for same-day brake service? A guarantee on brake shoes and pads for as long as you own your car. And the expertise of doing over 2 million brake jobs a year? Midas.
Think of us as the brake specialists. We're pretty good at mufflers, too.
Hi, I'm Gigi Ayo.
And away we go.
Here's a special offer for UH football fans. Spend an exciting weekend in Las Vegas cheering on the Bows as they battle the UNLV Rebels. From just $459 for air and game tickets only, or from just $529, spend 4 nights at the Four Queens Hotel departing on September 26th. Don't miss this special offer. Call today and support the Rainbows in Las Vegas.
Creative holidays, and away we go.
Stay with the flock.
Stay with the flock.
Stay with the flock.
Hey, who's that? Don't be a sheep. Dare to compare Panasonic sound to the other guys.
Stay with the flock.
Stay with the flock.
Stay with the flock.
Hey, who's that? Don't be a sheep. Dare to compare Panasonic sound to the other guys.
A woman from the past, a woman from the future.
Amelia Earhart.
What will happen when they come face to face?
We think you were abducted from Earth.
Get ready for a dramatically different season premiere.
We've all decided to stay here on the planet.
One brings hope. One brings suspicion.
Take cover.
And the destiny of a crew hangs in the balance. NYPD Blues' Sharon Lawrence guest stars on the season premiere of Star Trek Voyager.
Monday night at 7 on K-Pop, the home team.
Here's Ken Kendall to introduce tonight's Bank of America lineups. Ken?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the University of Hawaii Special Events Arena for tonight's University of Hawaii Rainbow Wahine Alumni Volleyball match. And now let's meet the participants in tonight's match, starting with the Alumni squad. A 5'8" member of the team from 1991 through 94 from Columbia Heights, Minnesota, Carrie Anderson. A 6'1" player from 1990 through 93 from Manhattan Beach, California, KRYSTAL Atwood. At 5'6", playing from 1984 through 87 from Kailua, Hawaii, MAHINA ELENEKI. A 5'7" member of the 1993 and 94 squads from Hauula, Hawaii, CHASTITY KANOA. A 5'7" player from 1980 through 83 from Corona Del Mar, California, Marcy Nowak. At 6 foot from 1981 through 84 from Santa Barbara, California, Lisa STRAND-MA'A. A 6-foot player from 1987 through 90 from Manhattan Beach, California, Karrie Trieschman-Poppinga. And a 5'10" member of the squad from 1991 through 94 from Compton, California, Key Williams. The alumni team is coached by Dean Nowak. He's assisted by bench coach Alan Kang and team manager Cheryl Grimm. And now introducing the members of the 1995 University of Hawaii Rainbow Wahine Varsity. A 5'3" freshman from Mililani, Hawaii, number 2, Lori Higashida. A 6'1" sophomore from Kihei, Maui, number 3, Cecilia Goods. A 5'10" freshman from Manhattan Beach, California, number 4, Kelly Cordray. A 5'11" junior from Pearl City, Hawaii, number 8, Chastity Nobriga. A 6'1" freshman from Laie, Hawaii, number 7, KAPU Elkington. A 6'3" freshman from Manhattan Beach, California, number 10, Lori Garber. And now introducing the starting lineup. A 5'11" sophomore from Portage, Michigan, number 1, Therese Crawford. A 5'4" junior from Colorado Springs, Colorado, number 6, Nalani Yamashita. A 6'3" junior from Vallentuna, Sweden, number 9, Angelica LJUNGQUIST. A 5'8" junior from Honolulu, number 11, ROBYN Amo. A 5'8" junior from Aiea, Hawaii, number 14, Jocelyn Robbins. And the captain, a 5'10" senior from Hilo, Hawaii, number 5, Jenny Wilton. And the Rainbow Wahine staff, trainer Melody Toth, volunteer coach Shelton Tang, assistant coach Charlie Wade, associate coach Howard Wallace, and head coach Dave Shoji. And now, ladies and gentlemen, will you please rise and join Miss Karen Keave Hawaii as she leads us in the singing of our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
the starting lineup. One of the new faces in the starting lineup tonight,
referees for
NALANI
tonight's match.
Yamashita. She is from Colorado State, a junior defensive specialist. She walked on at Colorado State, earned a couple of letters, and now she comes to Colorado. Went to Maui High her freshman year and was an all-star, so she's really been around, but she's back to play some back row, keeping in line with Hawaii's tradition, Chris, of great back row specialists, hopefully.
Well, Dave Shoji thinks enough of her to say that her back row and Cecilia Good's front row will equal the loss of Sarah Chase. We'll see if that formula and that equation Shoji.
Sure are. So there you see Yamashita, who will be Hawaii's designated defensive specialist this year. You remember Wendy Park from last year. She's acting as a trainer this year, a manager with the team, actually. And a lot of other new faces, and we'll be getting to them, and we're ready to begin. And Yamashita will serve the first ball of the preseason, if you will. Overpass up front, and Key Williams takes advantage of Therese Crawford and puts down her former teammate's ball.
On track to go overseas.
Free ball, Crystal Atwood can't put it away. So it's set in the middle. Karrie Trieschman is always so athletic. Blocked up front, but it lands outside. And it's back over to the varsity. It's quite a lineup on the floor now. A couple of, I won't say generations, but 4 years being a generation in volleyball. A few generations out here with Lisa STRAND-MA'A, Karrie Trieschman, and Key Williams. Some of the big guns of great Wahine teams, Chris.
Great cross-court dig that time by Therese Crawford. Showing some good defensive skills in the back row.
Ball overpassed, and it lands outside, and it's 1-0 varsity. So Crystal Atwood now coaching at HBU and teaching at Waianae Elementary. One of the Miracosta pipeline players. There are a bunch of them out here tonight. She and Trieschman on the Alumni, and 2 freshmen, Garber and Cordray, for the varsity. That's 4, Chris.
Miracosta continually puts out great volleyball players, both on the male side and female side. And there's a big block up front. Angelica LJUNGQUIST, the 2-time All-American, 2-time All-Big West, and part of the best blocking tandem in the country last year with Sarah Chase.
Biggest concern of Coach Dean Nowak tonight was that block. Outside, Robbins off the block, attempted block, side out.
Well, already we've seen Robbins with 3 swings on the outside. She may be the go-to person on the outside. According to some of her teammates, she's really been playing well in practice.
Well, and as we saw from her early days, there's a block by LJUNGQUIST. She is a great leaper, and she has certainly come on strong the last year and really wants to play well this year in a starting position. 4-0 the varsity. Trieschman off the block, and Trieschman-Poppinga gives a little mock cheer. She is not playing, by the way, in the outdoor beach volleyball tournament this weekend because she is ranked in the top 24 and therefore is ineligible, cannot play.
She's trying to get to the Olympics in beach volleyball, as a matter of fact. She's very excited about that possibility.
One of the Wahine who played in Europe after graduating, played some in Italy. Husband Brian played over in, I believe, Switzerland too. And they're now both coaching at Kaimuki High. There's a long serve by Robbins. So 0-4, Trieschman-Poppinga.
1-9. Stay right, Crystal left.
All over the all-time record list. Number 6 in kills and kill average, 8th in spike attempts, 4th in hitting percentage. Just a great legacy. Good dig by Wirtz Nowak. No block goes up, goes outside, it's wide, it's 1-4.
I would not be too disappointed with that play, though. Perfect pass by Robbins in transition. Nice little step-out move by LJUNGQUIST. She just missed the line by a hair. Good play.
Crawford, not a great ball, but it's overpassed by Atwood. It's roofed. MAHINA ELENEKI gets the roof. MAHINA ELENEKI. One of the players on the floor from the last championship team of 1987. She started on that team. She is, in my mind, Chris, the epitome of hard work, dedication. And
he's the smallest player in the box.
Here we have the substitution Chris mentioned, checking in for the back row specialist is Cecelia Goods, and a lot is being put on Cecelia Goods' shoulder this year, filling in up front for one of the best blockers in the league. Sarah Chase, and she starts off tonight with a block. She's really done a good job working out in the weight room, improving her jumping, improving her height, and that's the early word on Cecelia. Crawford blocked, but it goes out, so it is 6-2 in game one. We are playing only 2 out of 3 tonight. And right now the varsity cruising at 6. Good hit by Atwood, but Wilton is there in the back row. There's a roof up front. STRAND-MA'A and Atwood put it down, and now coming in the Thunder from Compton, California, as we take a look at this block.
Well, watch this back set by Cecelia Goods. Most middle blockers have trouble with that particular set. She did a pretty good job with it, just didn't get it wide enough, but it was a pretty good hands by Cecelia from Kihei and Kamehameha.
And the Compton power force up there, Key Williams. So she may give a few out, but she wouldn't take one herself. Although this is an exhibition game, this is a very intense alumni team. Not only do they want to look good, they want to win. A lot of these players, STRAND-MA'A, Nowak, they all play beat.
Well, you're absolutely right, and I think we'll see that. Take them a half a game or so to get used to each other in this particular lineup. So, in fact, I don't think at any point during the week we're all 8 players there at the same time.
8-2. Key Williams, good dig in the back by Amo, one of the best defensive players in the conference last year. Second team All Big West. She sets cross court. Crawford off the block. Atwood overpasses. It is 9-2. Crystal Atwood having some trouble with her passing, and Dean Nowak calls the first time out of the night. And we will take a break with the score: Varsity 9, Alumni 2.
We thought we were being so smart with our money. Tax-free bonds, IRAs, mutual funds.
So, what did the financial planner say?
Well, she said we need a savings account that pays more.
Oh, a savings account.
It's smart to have a savings account at American Savings Bank.
Well, she said to shop around.
Because we pay one of the highest rates in town.
Glad we talked to her.
We?
More than ever, it pays to have a savings account at American Savings Bank.
Hawaii's long-awaited convention center is finally on its way. A world-class facility that's good news for Hawaii's economy and the unionized construction industry.
The center will put hundreds of local construction workers back on the job. A real shot in the arm for the construction industry when we need it most.
The new convention center, an investment in a better Hawaii, with the support of the Pacific Resource Partnership, Hawaii's unionized contractors, and the Hawaii Carpenters Union.
Talia discovers her true destiny.
They'll come after me.
We'll see on the next Babylon 5.
It's just 2 days between now and excitement. The season premiere of Star Trek Voyager and Nowhere Man.
I'm Mahina ELENEKI, and presently I teach at La Pietra High School. I teach PE and health, and I coach the varsity volleyball team.
Mahina telling you what she's doing. Don't forget, a portion of the sales proceeds of Miller Lite 12-pack and 18-pack cans will be directly donated to the UH athletic program. Miller Lite reminds you to support Rainbow Fever and to think when you drink. And Chris, the alumni, as you mentioned, needing to get together. I mean, they've got the guns out there, but just haven't practiced that much. They need to put it together because this varsity team is just chomping at the bit to get going this season. They'd like to start off by beating their big sisters.
Well, they're not only chomping at the bit, they've been playing with the same 6 people or 7 for about 3 weeks now, whereas the alumni have had about 2 nights to practice together. So there's a big difference. You can see that.
Off the block goes ELENEKI, and she'll go back to serve.
She's the master of the tool job on the outside there. A great user of the opponent's block.
Crawford coming across and going wide. And one of the things we'll be watching early on in 1995 is the consistency factor of Therese Crawford. You say a lot last year, freshman and just getting used to it, but a lot of times she'd go up for a swing and just miss it or hit it into the net, and a lot of her passes were over passes. This year, those won't be as excused as easily because they won't be freshman errors anymore.
I agree. She also had the benefit of playing in the Olympic Festival this summer in Colorado Springs along with ROBYN Mo, so that experience should have helped her.
Ball blocked and no one's there to pick it up. GT Hawaiian Tel continuing its commitment to the University of Hawaii General Scholarship Fund by honoring a player from each team in tonight's match. GT Hawaiian Tel beyond the call. Key Williams is roofed, and she says to Carrie Anderson, which we've seen her say to setters before, get it a little bit higher, please.
She does need a little bit higher. She needs a good run up here. She's chasing it inside. You see forehands across there. Nice block by Wilton on the outside.
Good pass from Trieschman-Poppinga to STRAND-MA'A. So you have the two players on the team, both of whom married former men's volleyball players, passing that one around to get the side out. And checking into the lineup, Chastity KANOA, the transfer from Taft Junior College by way of Kahuku High and Hauula. Solid back row player. She's working with Jackie's Travel, about to embark on her master's program at HPU in human resource management. Trieschman-Poppinga, she loves it. Checking in for the Wahine is NALANI Yamashita again from Colorado State, doing some back row duty as Cecilia Goods rotates through. It is 11-3.
I didn't think that was a roof. I wonder why the Alumni were celebrating so much.
Oh,
ball came on their side of the court. Poppinga did not get a roof there.
But she acted very well.
Yeah, she did.
Had me fooled. I was ready to give her credit. Good partial block up front. Amo goes back set. ELENEKI taking something off it. So clever with those shots. Good dig, though, by the Wahine varsity. That time cross court, was it touched up front? It was not. 12-3.
Well, Karrie had a good swing at that ball. Key Williams did a good job of holding JOSELYN in the middle, so Trieschman had a nice seam to aim at. Instead, she chose to go high hands and missed both of them.
Here's a jump serve, and it's an ace. There's a nice new weapon. And at 13-3, Dean Nowak calls timeout as Yamashita puts down an ace.
We have 2 minutes on this. Go away.
Whoa, hey guys, those McDonald's Big Macs you got there?
That's right there, future Hall of Fame face.
2 tasty titans for only $2 there, Peter Patriot pal.
Oh, can I have one?
Oh, that's not gonna happen, Signal Boy.
No way there, Larry Longarm.
Come on, we can work something out. I gotta have one of those Big Macs.
You really want one?
Now at McDonald's, you can convert $2 into 2 towering, tasty Big Macs or 2 hot morning fresh egg McMuffins. But the clock's ticking, so hurry.
2 Big Macs for $2, please, and I'm kinda in a hurry.
Okay, here's the play. The big guys protect the little guy, okay?
Have you had your break today?
Mississippi.
No matter how high the thermometer climbs or how sticky the humidity gets, nothing will be hotter this summer than the deals you'll get during Jeep Summer Days, where you can get up to $1,200 in option package values on Jeep Grand Cherokee, values over $1,300 on Jeep Cherokee Sport, including no-charge air, and deals that are truly steamy on the legendary Jeep Wrangler. But you'd better hurry in, because deals this incredibly hot are bound to cool down fast.
See your Hawaii Jeep and Eagle dealer.
To demonstrate the uniqueness of a Beauty Rest mattress by Simmons, we're dropping the ball. On the competition, that is. Only Beauty Rest uses individually pocketed coils to help assure you undisturbed sleep, no matter what's rolling around next to you. Beauty Rest by Simmons, the Do Not Disturb mattress.
But don't you drop the ball. Get to Sears Home Life now. Beauty Rest Queen sets start at $649.99. And there are great values on twin, full, and king sizes, too. Beauty Rest by Simmons.
Hi, I'm Diana McInerney McKibben. I've been teaching the last 10 years at Punahou School, and I've been also coaching the girls varsity the last 4 years, and I just took over as the head girls varsity volleyball coach.
One of the reasons Diana is not with us on the court tonight playing is that her team is playing in the ELENEKI Classic, the girls volleyball tournament, so she couldn't make it. So she sent her assistant coach, Lisa STRAND-MA'A, in her place.
All served into the net after the timeout, so brilliant strategy by head coach Dean Nowak, getting the side out back. Absolutely what he called during the timeout. He said she'll hit it into the net. 3:13, overpass, free ball for the alums. Atwood still looking for her first kill. There's an overpass and outside the line, and Therese Crawford raises her hand, says, I know I didn't pass that one too well.
I think a great shot there would have been to have Ljungqvist put a little dump shot like a setter.
Now there's Ljungqvist in the middle. Angelica Ljungqvist, robbed last year, and I'll say that to anybody who cares to listen, should have been a first-team All-American.
I couldn't agree with you more.
What a joke. What a joke that she was second-team All-American. Maybe because she was a sophomore, who knows why. But she hit 375. She was one of the top 20 players in the country in hitting, one of the top 30 in the country in blocking. She has played in every game in 2 years for UH. She is the Cal Ripken of women's volleyball. Good dig in the back row by KANOA. And that ball will not make it over, so it'll be point or side out. In the back row now is Marcy Wirtz-Nowak. That's right, Coach Dean Nowak's wife. She played 80 to 83, a real catalyst in the championship teams of 82 and 83. Anderson goes in the middle, Atwood. Not a good chance to run up on that one. There's a dump, and Nowak. Poppinga puts it down.
Oh, nice back set from Karrie Anderson. Put it right on the money for Karrie Trieschman-Poppinga. Karrie, as you well know, trying for the Olympics in beach volleyball, 1996. She's currently on the women's two-man tour. She plays with Deb Richardson. There's another great beach volleyball player, Lisa Strand. She'll be in the finals tomorrow at the Armani Emporio beach volleyball tournament.
Short set, pushed wide by Ljungqvist. And now Poppinga serving at 5-13. Really a complete player, just on all the record books in UH history for not only kills and spikes and blocks, but also digs. I mean, she really did it all during her career at UH. And Cecilia Goods checking back into the front row for Yamashita. Good dig by Nowak Wirtz. Good set by Trieschman. ELENEKI tries to tool it off the block. It's wide, and so it's side out to the varsity. GT Hawaiian Tel continuing its commitment to the University of Hawaii General Scholarship Fund by honoring a player from each team in tonight's match. GT Hawaiian Tel Beyond the Call. Nice swing and a good dig by Wilton. Another good dig, this time by Poppinga. ELENEKI off the block. Ljungqvist tries to bombard a ball and end game one and goes into the net. So at 5:14, Key Williams will check back in. Not to be confused with T. Williams. We had her last week. Congratulations to T tonight, yesterday, the U.S. team with a big win, Chris, in Taipei in the Grand Prix in 5 games, upsetting, and I put that in quotes, #2 ranked Brazil.
It is an upset. And to be down 12-8 in the tiebreaker to do it in the 5th game was amazing.
Shades of the China match last week when the U.S. came back to win. 14-6, varsity and Robyn Amo back to serve. ELENEKI over the top.
She still finds a way to get it done. She slices and dices and cuts and chips, uses the block. She does it all.
Long loping serve. She's 6th all-time in career aces at UH. Good dig by Poppinga, but it goes under the net, and it's side out. Back to the varsity. Crawford tips the net with her serve. And Chastity KANOA will come back in for the Alumni. Carrie Anderson, by the way, is a graduate assistant right now. She's in her 5th year getting her degree and needs to do about 20 hours or so of work with some programs. So obviously the volleyball program is a good one to work with. So she'll be helping out all season long. Bump set by Attwood. Key Williams off the top of the twine.
Attwood with a nice pass in transition. And Key finally puts one away with a little authority.
Off of Crawford. I'll tell you what, Crawford looked like she's been hit by a sniper on that one.
So you can see the nice set to the outside. Key goes right between the blockers, and Crawford just gets chested right there. Holy cow.
Back set. Cecilia Goods, nice little move. Goods getting up quickly.
What made that play, though, was the great pass right to the net, which forced the Alumni middle blocker to hang on until Robyn Amo committed herself on the set. She put up a beautiful back set.
Well, and a couple of years ago, Attwood was the designated passer. Last year, Brandy Books. This year, looks like it's going to be Jenny Wilton quite often. Off the blocks, side out. The Alums hanging tough in game 1, 7-14.
Alumni warming up a little bit to the occasion. A little pride, I think, was at about 13-3 was starting to kick in. They're saying, hey, at the last time out, hey, let's not get whooped here.
It's going to be a free ball. Tough hit for Attwood. She goes cross court and puts it down. Crystal Attwood with her first kill on the night after 7 attempts.
Say, that was my favorite shot that she hit during her career here in Hawaii. The ball was set to about the 15-foot line. She just went up and took a really good swing at it.
Key Williams serving long at 8-14. Marcy Wharton-Nowak going in. She works at Kapiolani Women's Center, osteoporosis screening. And of course, she was part of that great 82 team that rallied to beat USC after being down 2-0 in the championship match. Good dig up front effort by Amo, but no one can get to her ball. And it's 9, or side out, 8-14.
Each team again allowed 12 total substitutions, 2 timeouts each.
Yeah, but I believe they're going to be liberal with the poor alums in this game. I believe
unlimited substitutions.
I believe as long as they're still breathing, they'll still allow them to come off. Yeah, they're not going to be. They will be tight on UH to get them obviously ready for the varsity season next week. And boy, does that begin in a big way. We encourage you to get out here. Hawaiian Airlines Wahine Volleyball Classic, Minnesota, number 14 Texas, and then number 3 UCLA. And there's a net violation against the alums. Points to the varsity, and it's 15-8 in game number 1. A little rally by the alums. They're getting warmed up. Don't go away.
Very nice.
Thanks.
Moving up, little brother. Banco checking, I see.
There comes a time in life.
For bank machine.
Everywhere I go.
Telephone banking, access card.
The financial superhighway.
I suppose now you think you're a man, huh?
Just your typical man.
With your not-so-typical checking account. From Bank of Hawaii, Hawaii's bank.
The Miller Lite NFL Football Handbook. Cram full with schedules, stats, stories, and stars. Get yours free inside specially marked packages of Miller Lite where you see this display. You've got the NFL. You've got Miller Lite. Life is good.
She was the perfect wife.
You know what I was thinking about?
Fulfilling my every fantasy? Until she deserted him.
The joke's over. So where is she?
Turned her back on him.
Who are you?
And betrayed him.
You're sick. You need help.
She's lying. This woman is my wife.
But is there a reason?
They told me that if I said anything, they'd kill you.
Now, like a fugitive, Thomas Vale is out of his mind with fear and on the run. Nowhere Man.
Monday night at 8 on K5, the home team.
Back between games 1 and 2, the varsity winning in game 1, 15-8. But Chris, the Alumni coming back strong, and as they switch sides, they said to us, we're coming back this time.
Lisa Strand, just give us a little bit longer. There's Trieschman laughing. There's loosey-goosey. There's Key dancing to the music. There's Lisa. She is a, as we said earlier, a dental hygienist for Armin Chong. Does a great job there. She's an assistant coach to Diana McKibben over at Punahou and does some volleyball coaching there. And of course, is in the beach tournament. She's in the finals tomorrow morning down at Waikiki.
Angelica Ljungqvist, you see there, I had an interesting conversation with her. She changed her favorite athletes. Now Ingemar Stenmark, the skier, and it was Lars Van, I don't know, it was a long distance run or something. She said, oh, he's not as good anymore, and he's not cool anymore, something like that. But she is good news, Wahine fans. You know how we always get into a season and wonder about Angelica? She said she's coming back to get her degree and go on to maybe law school. So good news for 97. We'll go to a break and be back right after this.
Driving Hawaii's mountain roads and neighborhood streets just got even easier. Thanks to the big savings on Goodyear Regatta, the quiet riding radio with all-weather traction. Hawaii's tire experts offer outstanding competitive prices on the Regatta, Goodyear's best all-round value. Come in now for a great buy on a smooth sailing Goodyear Regatta radio.
Hi, I'm Randy Medeiros. Hurry into Motor Supply Sheridan Street for great savings.
Glenn Lau from Goodyear Wailuku Maui, coming for great savings today.
You live here, and you want to send a package over there. With UPS Hawaii 48-state ground service, you can send your package to the mainland and save almost 50% off the air rate. Plus, UPS offers ground track that lets you track your package 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Hey, time is money, and UPS can save you a lot of money. Proving once again that sending a package is as simple as UPS.
For cars that can benefit from higher octane,
Frank, we're late.
Texaco Clean System 3 Power Plus and Power Premium are formulated to clean your engine's intake valves, fuel injectors, and combustion chambers while you're driving. For smooth starts and sure acceleration, just give us 5 tanks, and we think you'll see a difference. A word of advice, though. Maybe you'd better leave the windows rolled up.
Add more life to your car. Take it to the star.
John Fink and Chris McLaughlin, happy to be with you from the Special Events Arena. Good crowd tonight, about 2,500, I'd say, which, as I mentioned in our open, Chris, is better than about 90% of the teams, 95% of the teams in the country. And this is for an exhibition match with the alums.
We also would have turned away 800 at dear old Clum had the same crowd turned up.
That's dear old, I remember dear old Clum. Lisa STRAND-MA'A serving for the alums, trying to come back in game 2. Short set in the middle. And Karrie Trieschman-Poppinga goes up by herself, says good shot, because there's no way she could deal with that one-on-one.
Dave showed you staying with the same lineup, wants to get his 6 or 7 starters. A lot of good experience. He knows that he may have to go with this lineup all year long, but I wouldn't be surprised to see him put some subs into this game, maybe more so than other games this year. He told me earlier that he's going to stick with Ljungqvist and Sia Goods and Jocelyn Robbins and Jenny Wilton and Robyn Amo. Pretty much steady all year long, the same 6.
Basically, what you see is what you get. What that means, of course, Chris, is no one can tweak an ankle. No one can have tendinitis. No one can have a shoulder impingement.
I asked Angelica about that before the game. I said, Angelica, do you guys have like some sort of unwritten rule that nobody can get hurt this year? And she says, yeah, and Chaz just broke it. Chastity Briga.
Yeah, she's out tonight with a little strained hamstring. She also has some tendinitis problems.
She's got some back spasms as well.
Right. There's a roof up front, and the crowd giving a hand to the alumni.
This is one of the things that Karrie Trieschman does well. Watch her go straight up there in the middle, blocks it right back down at Jocelyn Robbins. Wants Jaws to get more sets. Here she is, getting for it, getting again. She wants the ball all the time. And many of the players have called her our go-to girl this year on the outside.
Well, Chris, you know, we said a couple of years ago, even when she was not playing, she had a great leaping ability. She really got up there and skied. And she's really wanted to prove herself and get into that starting lineup. And now's her chance. Wilton, nice save on the set. And really mishit by Crawford, but a lift on Poppinga, but I'll tell you, that was not a good hit from Crawford after Wilton did a nice job turning and setting that ball.
Wilton did put up a great set that time. You know, she is the alternate setter. She plays opposite the setter, and people with good hands usually get put in that position.
Poppinga, Trieschman goes right through and puts it down.
She's got that bubbly enthusiasm it takes to grind out long, hot days on the beach. That's her life now, on the hot sands of beach volleyball. She goes up on the outside, hit a lot of balls out of the middle in her career, and she's getting a lot of outside sets tonight.
You'll remember about 5 years back, 6 years back even, when she was injured in that Wahine Volleyball Classic, and that was the game in which the next game the team, I believe, lost 15-0 to UCLA. It just took the wind right out of the sails, but of course the positive side is Karrie came back to be an All-American and just a superb player at UH. Want to mention again, next weekend, opening night, you've got the Wahine Volleyball Classic, UCLA in Minnesota, and then Hawaii in number 14, Texas. And then on Saturday, they'll switch it around, and Hawaii will play Minnesota, and then Sunday we'll be back here for Minnesota and Texas, and of course the big one, Hawaii and UCLA. And that'll be earlier than normal on Sunday, 4 and 6 o'clock. Great effort on the alum side, Key Williams and Poppinga, and then off the block, and Cecilia Goods does not hit it over.
Oh, I love it when great plays get rewarded like that. Two great diving saves, one by Trieschman, one by Key Williams. Great scrambling play. Sometimes, though, you get that ball back over and the other team comes and just puts it back down on you. You don't get rewarded. That time, the Alumni rewarded.
Chastity KANOA giving Karrie Trieschman-Poppinga a break. And one of the ways you can tell the two teams apart, aside from the uniforms, is not too many earrings on the on the varsity. I don't think they'll let them have the earrings, but a lot of earrings on the side of the alums. And even a nose ring. Short set Goods can't make a real hit on it, and it's popped over by ELENEKI. And you know, she does so many tricky things. That one was blind luck, but it falls in. And not a good sign. That ball should have been played by somebody.
ELENEKI knows she got away with one there.
Mo just athletically playing a ball that could have been problems. Key Williams called for a fourth hit, did not go over. He going for the Oscar says, what? That me? STRAND-MA'A digs. ELENEKI digs, but it's too low. And it's a point for the varsity, 5-2.
Robyn Amo, one of the toughest servers on the varsity here. Giving the Alumni fits with her serve. Good floater serve there. So he gave Atwood trouble there. That's twice in a row. The Andersons had to bump set the ball.
That was a great bump, though, Chris. She went all the way across court, nice and high. And Key Williams gives her 5 because she loved that set.
See Anderson chasing down the bad pass. Nice follow through on that bump set. Williams finishes.
Outside Wilton goes through the block off STRAND-MA'A.
I think Jenny Wilton's going to really come into her own this year. No shoulder injuries, no rib injuries, no knees or ankles. She's healthy.
And she's tired of talking about it. She doesn't want to talk about it anymore. That's the history. Good save in the back row that time by KANOA. Now a chance though for the varsity. And Robbins with a smart move. Front row goes up and she goes right over him.
I think being voted captain is going to help Jenny too. She's a natural leader anyway, and to have that sort of be her signature her senior year, I think is very appropriate. I think she'll live up to all the expectations of a captain.
Robbins having a great match so far. 7 kills, 1 error. She's hitting 500. Key Williams nails one down. The only thing that is slowing Wilton down a little bit is this turf toe. And they're trying to pad it and do some things, but obviously she's out there tonight. And with the way the team is, they might have him out there if, you know, if things break, they may have to put him out there. Key Williams, the crowd cheering, that's a shank. And Dean Nowak says, you're out of here. Boy, what a tough coach. One shank ball, she leads the team in kills, and he pulls her off the court.
And she'd been teeing up on the first tee, that ball would have been SOB.
That ball would have been in a
Out of bounds.
condominium. That's exactly right. We're talking window crashing serve. Yamashita by way of Colorado State with the serve. ELENEKI off the block.
Oh,
nice ball by Yamashita. That was a beautiful set.
Great bump set. Nice dig by Crawford. Good control there, right to the center. Ran a little play off it, and Wilton ready for it. That shows good team unison there, the way the team worked together. Normally you don't see that kind of unison in a fast transition play until 2 or 3 weeks into the season.
One of the things to keep in mind, Chris, that's a real good point. This Wahine team has only been together for about a little less than 2 weeks. So this is not a team that's really oiled and ready to go. And so this is a perfect match to get ready for the big competition coming in next week. Good dig by Nowak. Anderson back set. Over the top. Good dig by Crawford and played on by Robbins. This is a nice rally going on. Atwood, a good dig in the back. Yamashita very smooth. Cross court. It lands wide. You know, sometimes I say the crowd will let you know who gets the point, but I can't say that tonight because they're rooting for both teams. Back in Trieschman. Poppinga in for KANOA. Karrie Trieschman-Poppinga back in. And KANOA, the back row specialist, gets a break. Side out to the varsity, Angelica JONGQUIST. Said she may become a lawyer, may go to law school, may play professional ball. I said, that's okay. You can talk about all those maybes, but the best thing, as I mentioned, going to a break before, she will be back for the '96 season. She says she wants to finish and get her degree. She's an international economics major. Side out for the varsity.
Jenny Wilton showing her versatility there, not only getting side outs from the left, getting side outs from the right as well.
Roof up front. Robbins and JONGQUIST get up there. Chris, one of the things that's really helped the team early this year, you take a look.
Here we see Robbins. Let's see her take a little shuffle step to the outside, seal that line, turn her left hand in. Good block by Jaws.
Nice cross in the middle, but a good dig by Wilton. A little too close to the net, though. Chris, one of the changes we ought to mention on the team this year for the varsity, Charlie Wade has come in as a one-year interim position, replacing Carrie Major as an assistant restricted earnings coach. She went up to Alaska Anchorage. If that name sounds familiar to you volleyball fans, he is since '86 the head coach, and he was the founder of the vaunted Magnum Volleyball Club in California, in Anaheim, which is the premier junior program perhaps in the country, and has given Hawaii such players as Key Williams, Crystal Atwood, and Sarah Chase, and a plethora of rainbow opponents at the junior level.
He's been actually doing junior volleyball for over 11 years and is very happy to be taking a one-year sabbatical here in Hawaii, returning to the collegiate ranks, and is actually having a ball.
Well, he's looking to get into coaching some college ball, and what a great opportunity for him. And of course, that pipeline has been so valuable for Hawaii. So Magnum, along with Howard Wallace, helping out with Dave Shoji this year. Back set, step out move. We saw that 112 times last year, and we saw that result. And Hawaii's going to need lots of that this year. JONGQUIST. JONGQUIST, #2 on the all-time UH list of hitting, and you see Charlie Wade right there. He'll help talk to the team because the alums have called timeout with the score 9-5 varsity.
Drinking and driving make in reducing the hazards of drinking. 7-Eleven requires that anyone who looks under 30 provide a proof of age photo ID when purchasing age-restricted beverages.
As a concerned corporate member of Hawaii's community, 7-Eleven thanks you for your cooperation.
And for helping to make our roads safer for everyone.
On the next Kung Fu.
I want to ride with you. With me.
When Peter decides to spend the day with Dad.
In a moment, we will be under attack. By what?
He gets more than he bargained for.
We waste them.
These guys are very persistent.
It's another fun-filled, action-packed day.
And a SWAT team's on the way.
In Mr. Kane's neighborhood.
A piece of cake. Right.
On the next Kung Fu.
Back at the Special Events Arena, John Fink and Chris McLaughlin, the first match of the year, and it's an exhibition or preseason match, if you will. And Chris, you couldn't find many teams to come in and have as many star players as this. Not a bad way for the varsity to get their season underway.
I think it's a perfect way to start the year. Dave's team is not having to play, you know, a big UCLA powerhouse and possibly get their confidence shaken early on in the year. They get to build up a little confidence by playing against the alums. And it's not a pushover either. They're getting in good long rallies. They're getting some good points in. And I think he's getting to accomplish what he wants to out of this exhibition.
One of the leading alums right now, Karrie Trieschman-Poppinga, with 5 kills. We caught up with Karrie earlier, and she told us what she was doing.
Karrie Poppinga, and I've been playing on the Women's Professional Volleyball Beach Tour for the last year, my rookie year, and pretty much just traveling all over the U.S. and
Very well. Something she did very well at the University of Hawaii. By the way, a lot of slogans this year on the t-shirts. Losers let it happen. The ball girls you'll see wiping the floor. Losers let it happen. The girls in practice the other day, Chris, we control our destiny. They really are building up this motivational thing. And the big word they're all using is hungry.
And on the front of their shirt it says, winners make it happen.
That's right. (10-5) as Jocelyn Robbins back to serve. Overpass by Robbins and a dunk shot by Amo. So athletic and quick. She has such great feet, Chris. You know, you always look at the hands and the arms and the swings, but feet are such an important part of volleyball and positioning and movement.
She really does have great feet. She jumps well and she gets to the ball well. One of the quickest setters I've ever seen at the collegiate level.
Good hit that time. Remember, when you're having good times with good friends, drink responsibly, because friends know when to say when. A reminder from your friends at Budweiser.
Nice little jump serve from Atwood that time. Good block up front by Carrie Anderson.
Oh, kept in play. Free ball, and it lands. There's a little miscommunication, and now checking back in up front, Cecelia Goods. Chris, you at all surprised? I mean, I realize we're seeing basically the 8-person rotation of Dave Shoji minus Nobriga with Yamashita in tonight makes it 7. But are you surprised he's not letting some of the younger players get in?
Well, as I understand it, he asked for a 3rd game no matter what. And I think at that point he'll maybe possibly play some of the other players. But in this particular, at this particular time, I think he really wants to let the varsity roll with the same group right along and start their continuity going. They got a big tournament next week.
So they are going to play 3 games, so hang with us. That's one of those decisions you're allowed to make in exhibition matches. You can always add one, and we'll stick with it. Kay Williams, bang, even knocks the linesman off the line. I'll tell you what, she makes the paint crack sometimes when she hits those balls. 5-11. Kanoa in for Poppinga. Crawford off the block. Still in play. Here's a set from Carrie Anderson to Kay Williams. And this time she goes long and begs for the touch. Can't believe it. It was long, Key. See, and she just asked.
Cecelia says, Key goes up to Cecelia, says, Sia, did you touch that? Sia says, of course I did. And she said, I told you so, linesman.
Lisa STRAND-MA'A off the touch. No touch is called. Well, another one she thought. She can't believe that one. Look at her.
That was a big-time touch there. Big-time touch. Let's let the crowd call it here.
So LJUNGQUIST walking out of the way. She knows it was touched. Oh, and Karrie Trieschman just put a towel over her eyes and walked toward the court. And Dean Noack said she should get a card. So Could see a brawl here, Chris.
Well, 2 obvious touches in a row. A little frustrating for the players.
Well, you know, it's preseason for the referees and linesmen, too.
That's true. They're allowed their share of mistakes.
And if you're going to make them, this would be the week to do it. I'm not so sure Mick Haley from Texas would be so mellow next week.
What a great tournament we have coming up, too. That's going to be a great, great classic.
Well, folks, we haven't seen Texas in this arena ever. And the last time when that young man was the associate head coach in 1988 in Minnesota in Williams Arena when Hawaii was beaten for the national title. So Texas, Minnesota, good squad out of the Big Ten. And, of course, the annual opponent in the Hawaiian Airlines Classic, UCLA. UCLA ranked number 3 this year. We mentioned Hawaii's number 5, Nebraska's 2, Stanford number 1, and Long Beach is 4. Side out back to the varsity. Chris, the irony is Long Beach is 4, Hawaii 5, and Pacific 8 nationally. And then in the Big West, the coaches voted who's going to win the Big West. Pacific is 1, Hawaii is 2, and Long Beach is 3.
You see Cecilia Goods getting to play a little back row now. Ran out of substitutions. NALANI Yamashita has already had her 3 entries, so Cecilia's left in the game. That's what will happen in the regular season, too. She'll be left in the game to finish the game when they run out of substitutions.
And that's going to be a key little chess match with Dave Shoji as to when she does come in and go out. Maybe let her sneak through once during the game and not have to keep her in at the end if he doesn't want to.
What a great back row player at the end of the game like NALANI. You're right.
Bump set from Nowak. Robbins goes up, another good swing. Jocelyn Robbins, 13-6.
Robbins leads the way right now with 10 kills. She's in first one in double figures. Nice pass by STRAND-MA'A.
This time Poppinga's there for the partial block. Nice bump set. And Amo gets a good hit. Good dig in the back by STRAND-MA'A. Overpass by Crawford. It was a good dig, but it goes over. And Atwood puts it down. Goods and Crawford introducing each other to each other. Kind of fell between them. I think they both had a shot at it, but it bounces on the floor.
Well, that's a great example of how Goods, not playing much back row, had a little trouble there.
Overpass by Crawford. Not a great connection that time. And the varsity calls for the touch. And it's a point to the alums. And they all looked at each other and said, I didn't touch it. So the alum got one back that time.
Sometimes you get a break, sometimes you don't. Karrie knows she got a break right there.
8-13. JOSELYN says enough of that tomfoolery.
But Trieschman looked befuddled right there. She knew that JOSELYN was hitting the step out, tried to get up on her, but it was just too quick a play.
Big West.
Great connection between Amo and JOSELYN that time. Looked like a mid-season connection.
Still say she was robbed last year. Off the block of Anderson. That's a point for the varsity, 14-8.
There was a big test that time for Therese Crawford. They committed on JOSELYN in the middle, which means Crawford had a one-on-one on the outside. Will she be able to convert on those this year or not? That's the big question. She did then.
Outside Poppinga, off the block and through. Well, Chris, I agree with you. That's a big question. To me, the bigger question with her is still going to be her consistency. She's overpassed about 8 balls tonight, and in a big game, that would kill University of Hawaii, and she's just got to get more consistent on the passing.
I agree. I think she would agree, too. She's going to be putting a lot of extra time in the gym, and it's one of the points of emphasis this year, I know, with Howard Wallace and Dave Shoji and Charlie Wade, is to work on the ball control. It's one of our 7-11 keys as well.
Back set. Good dig in the back row that time by JOSELYN. For the game, Wilton into the net. Still 8-14. We're in game 2. We will have a third game. Crawford over the top. Good dig by ELENEKI.
Good aggressive swing that time by Cecelia.
And Key Williams said, I needed higher, Karrie. And yeah, I needed higher, but I guess on those, maybe you just put it over instead of taking a full swing at it. KANOA comes in now for Poppinga. (14-8). Key Williams goes cross court long. It's 15-8. It's deja vu. That was the score of our first game. So after two, it's varsity 2 and alums nothing. We'll see if the alumni can rally when we come back for game 3.
It's a humdinger. These announcers gotta go. Right. Baker steps in. He's batting .206 and making $3 million a year.
Yeah, that's fair. He's checking sign. What's he saying, Steve?
Good news. I'm having your baby. This game is brought to you by Miller Lite. Expect great things from the great taste of Miller Lite.
Nice work, Steve.
Thank you.
Hi there. Suicide squeeze. Ow, come on. Terrible call. Here's that umpire's home telephone number.
Call tonight.
Keep calling.
Call him late.
Nothing's hotter than Nissan's Blazerama Summer Clearance. For limited time only, purchase any new 95 Nissan and we'll give you a credit for air conditioning at no charge. Or use your AC credit for the down payment. Or if monthly payments are the problem, choose between special low lease payments or financing as low as 1.9% APR. Nissan's Blazerama Summer Clearance. Nobody's dealing like Hawaii's Nissan dealers.
The primary color of KFC Hawaii's logo is red. And the primary color of their delicious new oven-roasted char siu chicken is also red.
Is good. Yeah.
Coincidence?
We think not.
New char siu chicken from KFC Hawaii. Real red, real good. Now just $7.99.
Back between games 2 and 3, John Fink with Chris McLaughlin. Chris, take a look at the Kilgo's match sketch thus far.
Well, leading the way for the alumni, Karrie Trieschman and Key Williams with 7 kills apiece. And for the varsity, JOSELYN Robbins and ANGELICA JONGQUIST looking very sharp. JONGQUIST from the middle and hitting a little step-out move, getting 10 kills. Robbins mostly on the left side, being very effective with a variety of line shots, cross-court shots, and dinks. Also, the varsity out hitting the alumni in a kill percentage about 380 to about, or 304 to about 180. So the varsity, too big a block, too many weapons. Alumni, few too many mistakes, few too many overpasses, but a good game nevertheless. Entertaining, fun watching the old timers come out here and go toe-to-toe with the newcomers.
Well, it's great as a fan, too, to see these players still in great shape. A lot of them still playing volleyball. You see Key there over with the varsity. I believe she's trying to get a spot back on the squad between games 2 and 3. I don't think they'll accept her. Her eligibility is used up, unfortunately. Think Hawaii would like to have her back this year?
They would not turn her down. They could find another year for her, I guarantee you.
All right, we'll be back with Key and the nose ring and everything else when we come back.
Excuse me, brother. Is that ace paint you're holding?
Why, yes. Yes, it is Ace Paint. During Ace Paint days, it's on sale.
Check with your local Ace Hardware for specific dates and prices on quality Ace 7-star paint.
You want to ride?
Nah, I'm waiting for a boat.
Throughout Hawaii, Ace is the place for top-rated Ace 7-star paint.
So you're all famous Hawaii coaches, and you're all bowling together. Any tips?
Sure. The secret's in the spiral.
Everyone knows it's the serve that counts.
No. It's all in the wrist. It's in the jump.
Bowling is in a swing.
Gee, can you guys agree on anything?
Sure. Where we bang.
Foodland and Sack and Save are the proud sponsors of KHNL Hawaii News 8's Neighborhood School Network.
This state-of-the-art automated weather system is an interactive computer network that puts your child's classroom online with other classrooms across the nation.
From air pressure to algebra, teachers can integrate weather data to enhance our children's math, science, and computer studies. Foodland and Sack and Save, proud sponsors of the KHNL Hawaii News 8 Neighborhood School Network.
So many great players that have been through this university, the most storied perhaps in college women's volleyball. You see the career top 10 in kills framed by the Williams. T on the top at number 1 and Key Williams at number 10 here tonight. Also Karrie Trieschman here tonight. Diana Jesse out of Alaska you saw there on that list. There's the career top 10 in aces. Lisa Strand number 2. ELENEKI tied for 6th. And Brandy Brooks at number 8 on the list. And the digs, you see ELENEKI and Trieschman on there. Of course, Tita Ahuna, T. Williams on there. Another setter, Sincerova, Suzanne Egge. Played on the championship team in '87. Sherry Boyer, one of the great setters of all time. Malin Franson, part of the Swedish connection. And Toni Nishida, another player full of heart and desire and a lot of inspiration to her teammates during her career. Earlier tonight, there was another alumni game, and this was between, I guess you could say, the Makuli squads, the green and the white. Let's take a look at the last point in the Makuli game. And Chris, you can talk about some of the players in this matchup. Cheryl Grimm was out there.
Right, she was a big star tonight. There you see Lonnie Hayes, a little dump shot, didn't work. So another great player in that match was Leanne Satelli, formerly Leanne Pastana. There you see her right there. Smiles all around. They had a great time and gave the crowd a good show.
And ELENEKI, one of the players who played in that match, he's doing double duty tonight playing here in this one.
Alan Kang said to say he's 1-0 now in alumni games coached. His team won.
Greatest coach in alumni history, I guess, huh?
I think so.
Undefeated.
It's got to be written down somewhere.
Alan Kang, of course, the coach of UH before Dave Shoji. Shoji in his 21st year. That almost becomes a trivia question at this point.
That's right.
So we're into our third and final game, and substitutions on the floor for Hawaii as the youngsters seeing their first action of the season.
Lori Garber right there, number 10 from Miracosta with a little swing and miss connection with Robyn Amo.
Lori Garber, one of those raw talents, expected to see a lot of action in the years to come. She is 6'3". Dave Shoji compared her to Suzanne Egge, coming a little bit raw. But of course, by the time she left, Egge, one of the great players in UH history, and Carrie Anderson didn't even see that ball coming back. It's that big white thing coming down on you.
One of the funnier plays of the night right there. Oh.
Here you see Kelly Cordray, the freshman from, guess where? Miracosta High School in Manhattan Beach.
Still recovering from a knee injury, an operation 10 months ago.
Yeah, ACL, I believe it was, anterior cruciate ligament.
KAPU Elkington from Kamehameha, number 7, is in the game as well. Dave Shoji doing a nice job of getting in as many substitutes as possible, letting the fans get a sneak peek at what the bench looks like for Hawaii this year.
So other than Amo and Crawford, who are both young, sophomore and junior, this is an entirely new squad on the floor with 3 freshmen and a junior transfer.
Well, Yamashita's on the floor as well. There's three starters.
Oh, that's true. I meant new faces. She's a new face this year. The regulars getting a breather, and actually they have their coats on. They might be done for the night. Carrie Anderson thought that ball was going to land wide and disagrees with the linesman. Gets the crowd on her side. Boy, tough night on the calls for the alums. Poppinga goes cross court, no one home. 1-3, and Atwood goes back to serve, and Key Williams checks in for Kanoa. We saw that a few times last year, that Kanoa and Williams connection. Good serve by Atwood, an ace. Yamashita comes up. Keep in mind, again, the girls on the floor for the varsity really is a misnomer to call them varsity, and these women have been together for 11 days. They didn't know each other before that, most of them, other than Amo and Crawford, and of course the 2 young ladies from Miracosta who played together in high school, but they're just getting to know each other in general, let alone on the floor.
I think it evens out the odds a little more here. Levels the playing field, so to speak, because the alumni haven't been playing with each other much either.
And Trieschman-Poppinga and Williams almost bring the net down on that net violation. You can't get much more blatant than that, and Key Williams gets her fist together. She wanted to kill that ball. 4-2, game 3. Varsity won the first two, 15-8. Good serve by Crawford just over the twine. And Key Williams, good dig up front. Nice play by Garber. Blocked by Cordray and Garber. Blocked by Cordray. Boy, she blocks All-American Karrie Trieschman. Not bad for a youngster like that at 5'10". Miracosta versus Miracosta.
You got it. I was just going to say the same thing. You know, Cordray was recruited by UCLA, Yale, Harvard, and Cal in soccer.
Oh, yeah. And tell me that the footwork of that soccer isn't going to help her in volleyball.
Absolutely.
I want to mention, of course, that on Labor Day, we'll have the first ever Wahine Volleyball soccer game right here on K5 with Jim Leahy and myself. Looking forward to that. We'll have 4 Wahine soccer games this year. Efforts to introduce more sports to you fans.
Nice pass by Wirtz. Little wide set that time by Anderson outside the antenna. Key not too pleased with that. I don't think Karrie was pleased with her set either.
I'll tell you what, this varsity squad, 7-2, really holding its own here in game number 3.
Kind of surprised me. I thought things would even up a little more here in game number 3.
Trieschman-Poppinga puts it down on the free ball. The overpass back to the Alumni. Bad pass. Hawaii ranked 5th in the preseason, and that's a good place to start because it's tough to move up the ranks with a bunch of teams that tend to stay undefeated with some weak opponents early. It's when you're ranked low, it's hard to move up real quickly. So even if that's a little ambitious in Dave Shoji's mind, good hit by Key. I'm sure he'd rather be up there than have to start at like number 20 as an unknown and try to work his way up.
I don't know. He's the kind of a guy I think would rather be underranked and then overachieve rather than be overranked and stumble and fall. The fall is precipitous, to say the least.
This team, no Hawaii team will ever sneak up on anybody. There's a block up front. Garber.
Well, Garber puts up a big block there at 6'3". She's got some long arms, and she gets way up above that 7'4" net. Puts up a good block.
Lori Higashida, a redshirt freshman from Mililani by way of Roosevelt High School. Higashida at 5'3", another back row aspirant. Key Williams hits one out of the gym. Begs again for the touch. Dream on, Key. 8-4. Lift is called against the varsity, and it's side out to the alums. Carrie Anderson, real inspirational leader last year, Chris, in the 25-5 team. Started out as the setter, ended up really coming in as a reserve, but really inspirational with her bench, ability to communicate with the team and keep them up during practice. Really a great story how somebody can go from being a starter to not being a starter and yet still contribute so much to the team.
She was an inspirational leader, no question, and she would love to have played more, but she knew it was best for the team, and she knew that Robyn Amo had beaten her out of the spot, so she wasn't going to go around moping and complaining.
And timeout is called by the Alumni, and with the score 9-4 in game 3, we'll take a break.
Sony PlayStation, coming September 9th.
Never see a shot of Dr. Ralph Hale. Boy, is he a hero in this women's program. One of the busiest guys around, who donated an awful lot of time to the Rainbow Wahine program in all sports, especially women's volleyball, when women's sports was not popular back in the early 70s. He's back here visiting from Washington, D.C., longtime Honolulu resident, but he's a D.C. resident right now, working on some major programs back there, but one of the heroes in my book.
One of the people like Dr. Dottis Thompson also, who really got this Wahine program going.
Those two went hand in hand, Thompson and Hale, and what a job they did.
Side out to the alumni, Dean Nowak, an inspirational speech during the last time out. He stood up as the team came off and he went, go, and then he walked away. I tell you, I don't know what more you can say.
I was inspired.
Certainly words of wisdom from one of the experts. And again, Key Williams serves out, and Dean Nowak, ever the hardcore coach, says you're out of there. So Key takes his seat and KANOA goes in the back row. Coaching brutal on these alums tonight. Overpass by Crawford, but not a good set by STRAND-MA'A, who grimaces almost in pain on that one. There's a ball off the twine. Nice save by Wirtz Nowak. Looked like the back row did come over the line that time on Elkington, but no call made. Good rally going here outside Crawford. And KANOA with a good pass. Crawford off the antenna. Not well hit. Side out to the Wahine.
That set just a little bit wide. Tough for her to bring it back across court there. Very difficult set to hit.
Crawford taking a ball away that time that she wasn't sure if her teammate Higashida was going to get to, and that makes it 5-9.
You know, in that particular case, I think it's a good idea for Crawford to move up front. Let the back row specialist take more of that passing zone. That way Crawford can get ready to hit. That's what she did there. Let's see if she gets a good run up. She does, but she gets a better block on her by Trieschman. But she had a good run at the ball that time because she didn't have to pass, and Higashida made a nice pass.
Crowd anticipating the comeback here at 6-9. Overpass. Kept it alive. Nice dig that time. Yamashita. Or rather, Higashida. Goods comes. Nice pass and a nice hit. Celia Goods, Chris, way outside there. Really turned her body well to go cross court. Lori Garber checks back in up front, along with Yamashita in the back row.
Well, the biggest difference I'm noticing from Cia Goods 2 years ago when she last played is that she has a little more of an aggressive arm swing. She's hitting it with more snap and power. I think that's two good things for her to be doing.
Short set in the middle. Good call and a good set. Everybody in the gym heard that one being called by Lori Garber, and Garber puts it down. Garber spends some of her free time as a Special Olympics volunteer. There's a good hit by Atwood.
For those who might have just joined us, we mentioned earlier that Crystal's working out in the Waianae Coast area, working as a teacher at Waianae Elementary. Nice to see these Wahine alumni giving back to the community.
(10-6). Good line drive serve by Amo. Good quick hit. Karrie Trieschman. One of the great things we always said about Karrie Trieschman is she can make a setter look like magic because she's so athletic. She can hang in the air and take balls that really aren't exactly where she wants and really do things with them. And a lot of the players you'll see, if they don't get the exact set they want, you kind of say it wasn't where she wanted it. But Karrie Trieschman could keep a ball in play and put it away because she was so athletic in the air.
Part of the reason she's good at that is the fact that she plays a lot of beach ball. When you play on the beach, you're going to run through sand a lot. You learn to have pretty quick and agile feet.
11-6. Varsity leading game 3. They lead 2-0. Karrie Anderson tried one of her patented dumps, and it didn't fool anybody. So she does the wiser thing and sets it a little bit short for Trieschman. And Garber gets herself a block. It's 12-6. So Garber showing her stuff to the home crowd for the first time. Great serve by Crawford. And Cordray nicely. Cordray really seems to get some good height on her leaps, Chris. And remember, she's playing with one wheel that is not at full strength.
Well, I said if she does have a weakness, it's the fact that she has not recovered from that operation. She looked like a pretty good jumper right there.
She will play this year, as long as she's, stays healthy, because they need her out there. Looks like she could be a real good addition.
And a good block by Garber in the middle. She's had a bunch of blocks.
Elkington goes wide, tries to go cross court, but it lands wide, and so it's side out to the Alumni at 6-12. Roof up front. Lisa STRAND-MA'A and Key Williams. And STRAND-MA'A getting her money's worth tonight. She's got to go back and play on the beach tomorrow.
That's right. Here we see the good line shot by KAPU, but not line enough.
STRAND-MA'A almost breaks her fingernail in the net that time. She really trying to get up and get a block. Got a piece of the net. 12-7. Cecilia Goods checks in, as does Higashida. And Higashida will go back to serve. Again, she was a red shirt last year. She'll be fighting for some back row duty this year.
Nice tough serve. Works as a good passer, and Higashida really backed her up, handcuffed her.
Timeout is called by the alums at 13-7. So trying to stop the momentum, the varsity trying to wrap things up. We'll be back.
CarQuest provides more than just quality parts. We provide expert service. That's because the majority of our 23 stores are owner-operated by familiar faces with years of hands-on experience. We've been assisting professional mechanics and do-it-yourselfers in Hawaii for years, and we're right here in your neighborhood to help you, which makes CarQuest the right place to get the right parts. So on your next quest for quality auto parts and up-to-date expert service, head for CarQuest, the right place for the right parts right now.
All across Hawaii, you'll find Unocal 76 service stations. Most of them family-owned stations, some for generations. So when you drive in, we'll help you get exactly what you need. And if you're a stranger when you drive in, you sure won't be when you drive out. Unocal 76. Real people, real service.
Talia discovers her true destiny.
They'll come after me.
We'll see. On the next Babylon 5.
It's just 2 days between now and excitement. The season premiere of Star Trek Voyager and Nowhere Man.
This sports presentation of K5, the home team, is sponsored in part by Beechwood Aged Budweiser. It's always been true. This Bud's for you.
Our Bud fact tonight, the Big West Conference, the first conference ever to win 3 consecutive NCAA championships in women's volleyball. There you see Pacific 85-86, Hawaii in 87.
A brilliantly called play out of the timeout by coaches Kang and Nowak, getting Key Williams on a step-out move. Alumni on their way back.
Well, some people said their minds had gotten rusty, but apparently not. They have really called a brilliant match tonight. During the timeout, they were drinking water. Off the block, the back set, Nowak. Off the touch by Cordray. And her husband says, there's another kill. 8-13.
Kelly Cordray on the outside. Nice little high hand shot. You can tell she isn't quite jumping her normal jump. She's still favoring that knee that where she had the operation last year.
Super soccer player, honor roll student at Miracosta, wants to be a marine biologist someday. Key Williams block, keeps it in play. Now she sets Nowak is partially blocked by Amo. There's a nice high set for Key, and the crowd gets to see her blast it one more time, but she's roofed, and so it's 14-8. And wouldn't that be ironic if they won 3 games in a row by a 15-8 score? So the varsity goes back to serve as you watch Key get roofed. And this is for the match. Not yet, Key says, as she said so often when teams were threatening against UH during her varsity career.
Well, we'll see if we get one last look at Key's standing top spin, whoop-de-doo serve. Nope, a straight floater. Good pass by Higashida that time. Great pass.
Bump set, Trieschman goes long and out. Nowak yelled, hit it. I think he scared her as she went to swing. One of the players recruited by Dean Nowak, Karrie Trieschman-Poppinga. It is 14-8, so once again, Kelly Cordray serving to end it, and why not? Looks like she's going to get it on an ace, and she does. And the varsity, I don't want to say you can mail it in, but how about 15-8, 15-8, and 15-8? And we'll be back with some thoughts from the Special Events Arena.
Once you try it, you can't deny it.
I like it. I'll tell you why. First,
what a sandwich!
Taco Bell introduces the Texas Taco Sandwich. Oven-baked flatbread with roasted chicken or seasoned beef and a tangy southwestern sauce. A taste so big, it ought to be outlawed. Yummy.
You don't have a woman from the past, a woman from the future.
Amelia Earhart.
What will happen when they come face to face?
We think you were abducted from Earth.
Get ready for a dramatically different season premiere.
We've all decided to stay here on the planet.
One brings hope. One brings suspicion.
Take cover!
And the destiny of a crew hangs in the balance. NYPD Blues' Sharon Lawrence guest stars on the season premiere of Star Trek Voyager.
Monday night at 7 on K5, the home team.
Join the home team this coming Wednesday night at 7 as we preview the upcoming Rainbow Football, Wahine Volleyball, and Wahine Soccer seasons on Game Time. That's this Wednesday at 7 right here on K5, the home team. Chris, your thoughts as we get ready? We've seen the preview. This is a preview, folks, of what you're going to see. And next week, you know, I won't say from the frying pan into the fire, but heck, you got number 14 Texas, a good Minnesota squad, and number 3 UCLA.
Well, I think the future bodes well for Dave Shoji's squad. I think that he's happy with the progress he saw tonight. He and Howard Wallace, Charlie Wade have worked very hard to have this team develop some ball control and some consistency. And I think you saw it. He saw some good outside hitting by that young lady right there out of IAA High School, the former cheerleader. Jocelyn Robbins did a great job. Jenny Wilton played well on the right side. What I thought was a real bright spot, though, was Robyn Amo and her connections with Angelica JOSELYN on the step-out move and the quick sets in the middle. Robyn was really sharp tonight.
Yeah, Chris, I think the key is going to be the passing throughout the year. And the reason I say that there is no Karrie Trieschman, there's no T. Williams or Key Williams who can put the ball down on a regular basis. And Robyn Amo is going to have to take some questionable passes and work her magic all season long for some of these hitters to keep the UH competitive with the best teams in the country.
Well, she's getting smarter every developing a quick offense. There you see Robbins and Wilton again and JOSELYN, the big three, so to speak. They're going to be getting an awful lot of sets between the three of them. And, of course, Melody Toth, the trainer there next to Dave Shoji. She is going to be one of the key players this year because Dave Shoji says he's going to go with 7 players and only bring in the subs and develop the freshmen if he absolutely has to, because he wants to bring them along very slowly and not shell shock them in their first year. So Melody Toth will have to keep those first 7 healthy and well.
Is it live and die with this group? Absolutely, says Shoji. The starters are going to have to take their lumps. Tonight, they did the lumping.
What do GECC employees do on the weekends? Well, most of the time, you'll find us sitting on our beepers. GECC Financial.